Because you don't just wake up and say, I want to be a president when you've never led students. Whoever that is going to lose election will be the SG.
Tried to sabotage Jesu in order for you to become president.
When Jesu was appointed as the president, you were crying because you didn't win the presidential candidate.
Right, you have to choose one. So it's Abigail or Karen.
It's your girl Tari here, and we are back with a new season of the Univen podcast. Boo, boo, boo. Shout out to that, guys. And I'm here with...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I go by the name Thuto Nje. This is season 2 of Univen podcast. Why did you stop? Surprised. I'm speaking foreign languages. But anyway, guys, today we are not alone. We have the one and only Secretary General of the University, Asekho.
Now, let her say that. Let her say that. We don't want to look racist. Let her say that. Let her say that.
Okay, so hi guys. My name is Lloyd Asekho Nje. Yeah, as they said, I'm the current Secretary General of the SRC.
I love how she speaks. As they said, this is the secretary.
And she said it nicely, like that.
Yeah.
That came out like it came out so nicely. Okay, Asekho, so I want you to tell us, how does it feel like to be the Secretary General of the SRC, bruh?
Okay, more than anything, it doesn't feel really or pretty good because you have a lot of responsibility of someone.
Yeah.
And somehow you even forget that you have a personal life. However, to me, it's all about serving students and not about the portfolio. So I don't see myself as that portfolio, but as a servant.
Yeah. So before we really get into that, right? Who are you? Like,
who is
what
Asekho?
do you represent? Because we just hear Asekho, politics and all the other stuff. We don't really know who
she
you
is.
are.
Yeah.
I just feel like, okay, yeah, more than anything, I'm a politician. I'm not just a student activist, I'm a politician. So, yeah, as I've said, my name is Asekho, born in the Eastern Cape, East London, bred in Soweto, Freedom Park, Devland. That's when I went to crèche, primary, high school, and then I came here in Venda, to pursue my education. I started my school in Somelulu as a primary school. I went to Freedom Park Secondary School. Then I came to Univen. At school, I was one of the top achievers. Yeah, I was one of the.
She's bragging.
I'm not bragging. I was one of the top achievers.
Yeah.
However, I started my journey of politics at the age of 12, turning 13, when I led courses. That is an alliance of SASCO, ANC, YCL, you name them. So I studied in courses, my politics, and obviously at home I always had a background of politics because my grandmom was an activist, my dad was an activist, and also I was an activist. So I had that.
The family.
Yeah, so I had that background. Okay, I'm not a social person. I'm a shy person in reality. I don't speak a lot. Some people would just misinterpret it as just because she's an SG, she doesn't talk to people. That's who I am. In spaces like this or where I have to assist, that's why I speak. But on a personal level, I can pass you. I don't say a lot because I don't know. I have social anxiety. Let me put it like that. Okay, I have a kid, one child. Her name is Queenie. Shout out to her.
Shout out to Queenie.
And I have like 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, from my dad's side. And then from my mom's side, I don't know anything. And then what else? I think I gave a background about who am I.
I think we know enough now. We know who's Asekho in a different level. She gave us a brief. You see when they say give us a brief explanation. That's what she did. That's what she did.
She was a top achiever, so
and I can't believe she's been in politics for so long, bro. I thought maybe she just started like not so long. Maybe like it started here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe my 2019 day, because now you see she's doing masters there. So
Yeah, I used to be a hardcore politician back in high school. My teachers even thought I wasn't gonna reach this. I wasn't gonna pursue my education because I was one person who didn't mind to lead a strike. I once led a strike for like 4 months in high school, and we marched to the current premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi. Then he was an MEC.
So
Banned some of the
actually,
things.
that's what I was about to ask. I
Yeah.
feel like also the environment, because you're saying you're from Soweto, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of things, I believe, in South African politics happened in Soweto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how
they
did
did.
that, like, how is life that side?
Okay, life that side compared to here, because I don't have any other environment. I'll just have to compare it to here. I feel like here is very soft, slow. That side, everything happens very fast. At the age of 11, you're matured mentally because of what we see daily, you see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a matter of the environment. I can say it is unhealthy, but healthy because it kind of prepares you. You know, it's not that environment when you are in a rural based. I feel like you don't know anything about the real life, the real world. So on that side, you're able to see some of your role models turning into drug dealers or being drug addicts, doing this and this and that. Like for me also to be this far, I feel like it is a God's blessing because a lot of people I used to look up upon, some of them they would receive awards in school. When I go at home right now, they're just drunkards, they're not doing anything with their life. So we have been conditioned to think that education ends in grade 12. And most of us really got our bachelors, but no one is really pursuing their things that side. So that is the life of Soweto. Everything happens there. Anything, actually. At the age of 11, you can be a gangster.
Yeah, that's why. That's why you get to, even if it's politics, like you can see politics, but you
different
want to
level.
raise your voice. So when you end up raising your voice, that's where you end up getting into politics
Getting
now.
fully into
Yeah,
politics.
and for me,
Yeah.
like I kind of feel like I matured really fast because I used to stay in an environment or a township called within Freedom Park, Gupta's town, where it was a place for only politician, right? And there is Bamsia Kuma anytime. Like that's how we grew up. That if these people fought in a
It's high.
meeting late at night, you're gonna hear guns, and it was normal for me. It was
Yeah.
pretty normal because at some particular time, Bezo Kalela, my place, they would come wanting my dad, So that's the life that
Oh,
I grew up
yeah.
upon. So I know the real inside of politics, and also that
The other
sugar,
side.
the other side. I know all sides and the dangerous part of it.
But I want to know something. What actually like inspired you to be in politics when you got here at school?
Okay, for me, it was more of a continuation. Because more than anything, I feel like politics for me are not a hobby, but my life. It's my personality. It's my nature.
Yeah.
Because I didn't wake up someday and said, okay, I want to be a politician because my dad is a politician. It doesn't happen like that.
Okay.
For me, it came as a nature. That is why most of the time, my dad and I stayed in the same house, but we were contradicting each other when it comes to the parties.
Yeah.
He would be this side, I'd be the other side. So when I got to Univen, obviously it was a continuation. It was me continuing, with what I love or what I had always done. So when I got here, I was always told that obviously, when you're in ANC or whatever, if I started my journey in courses, it is pretty obvious that I must proceed with SASCO because I'm in an institution of higher learning. So I led, and on my first year, I led the YCL as the additional member. YCL is an alliance of SASCO. You know that we have PYA. So on my first year, I think within 3 months being in Univen, I was appointed to lead YCL. Unfortunately, there was COVID because I came in 2020, right?
Yeah.
And then when I came back, I was appointed as a convener. Convener is a chairperson of the YCL. I've never led SASCO. I've led YCL, I've led the ANC Youth League. I've just been a member of SASCO in good standing.
Did you see yourself becoming the Secretary General of the SRC?
No, I've always seen myself as the president. I'm not gonna lie.
Boy.
I never saw
Then they
myself.
humbled you. They humbled you.
I'm being for real. Like I never saw myself as the Secretary General.
Yeah.
I always saw myself. It's something that I always told people, even before I came to Univen, when I was still in high school, that one day I'm gonna be in the SRC as the president. You see, that is something that I hoped for or thought it was gonna happen. And my dad always encouraged me that, yeah, but one day you're gonna be this because of the capacity or how you behave in terms of politics. So also in political positions, I always preferred being a secretary.
Speaking about that, I remember when you and Jesu were campaigning for president
Yeah.
role or
everything.
whatever position. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people were saying that when Jesu was appointed as the president, you were crying because you didn't win the presidential candidate. What. Can you please just tell us a little how
And
did
we
you
can't
feel?
we can't really say people, like we saw videos. There's
Yeah,
proof
even
that-
videos were there.
Yeah,
Like,
Okay,
just
the
what
the
happened,
videos
yeah.
that trended were, that was not the day that he was elected as the president. Remember that we had two HMs. The first one it collapsed, that one which trended, and obviously media can be, can narrate something else.
Yeah.
However, I was not crying. I was just reacting to the pepper spray that was poured on my face. You know that in such spaces you must you must be ready for anything, and obviously the people who are supporting your opponents will do absolutely anything. You see, so what had happened that day, because if you can tell or if you can check the videos that trended, I took some sort of a head and I, covered my eyes, and then you could see a lot of people going out. There was a pepper spray poured, and it was poured directly to my face. So just to clear that one, I was not crying.
Let's say you cry to the paper straight. It's not
No.
it's not a
Not
big
wrong.
deal, but
But-
it's fine.
But why, like this year? Like I mean, last year, because you had the opportunity to contest throughout all these years, but you didn't. Or maybe I'm the one who doesn't know what happened previously, because you just decided, okay, I'm gonna do it by the time you're Jesu. Did you feel like Jesus is not the perfect candidate, or you can take on him or some sort? I just want to understand why specifically last year.
Okay, why last year? Why not any other year? Okay, one thing about me, I believe in building cases. If you did debate, you'll know that you build your portfolio. You don't just wake up and become the president. So I had to build my portfolio. I had to build who am I in the space of politics. Hence, I started with contesting for the faculty. I contested, I think, in 2022? Yeah, 2022. Unfortunately, I had challenges with my academic record whereby I couldn't qualify because in my academic record, it appeared as if there are modules that I didn't write an exam. So I just let it go. However, that particular case affected me again in 2023. However, I was able to fix it with the administrator. And then I contested to be the chairperson of HSS in education. And then I became the project officer of the faculty. And then after then, I had to see, my potential, because you don't just wake up and say, I want to be a president when you've never led students.
Yeah.
You can lead when you're leading students in an organizational side, you are not leading everyone
Yeah.
or challenges that they come across. You see,
That's true.
you are leading an organization. So I needed to see my
They're
potential.
talking to my banana now.
Hey, man. So I needed to unleash that potential to see how will I cope under pressure.
Yeah.
That is why I studied on the faculty. So when I saw that, okay, I can do this, I've done a lot of things, I've resolved a lot of issues. And for me to contest, I didn't just say I want to contest. It was students who said contest. And then it got to my mind. Then I contested.
Behind the process of deployment and everything, was there any internal dynamics that actually influenced your
You being elected
your
as
selection?
Secretary
Your
General.
selection.
Okay. Prior the elections, or the last BGM, the ANC said Jesu and I, and they said, okay, we see that both of you are influential. With his numbers alone, we can't lead. We cannot win elections. With your numbers alone, we cannot win elections. However, we need you guys to be united. So we had to sit down and agree that whoever that is going to lose election will be the SG, and then the ones going to win, the BGM, will be the president, obviously. So even when the deployment came, it came
Yeah.
as executive, Jesu and Asekho. It was that, and then they deployed the rest. Because my deployment is something that everyone knew that if Sasco wins, already I'm the SG.
Yeah.
Had I won the BGM, Jesu was going to be the SG. So it's
Yeah.
something that we signed.
There are rumors that by that time when you guys were after the BGM rather, you tried to sabotage Jesu in order for you to become president. So I want you to clear that. I just want to understand what really happened. Why do people think that you tried to sabotage Jesu in order for you to become president?
And if okay, I'm confused now, but most of the things that are said are untrue. I am aware of things that people say about me on your Facebook fan don't. I just look and laugh about it. Um, the honest thing is that, like I told you, that we had an agreement prior the BGM that the one who loses will be this one and whatnot and whatnot. However, at that particular time, we didn't sign. So, because as a politician, you know how things are, how things can unfold. You need to be a step ahead. I said to them, no, I do get, but now we are talking. I mean, like we are taking things on the word of mouth. Rather, we have something that we signed down, so that tomorrow we don't blame anyone. Or
Yeah.
and then when it comes to the sabotaging part, more than anything, I don't love my position more than the student congress. I love SASCO more than anything. That is why some particular time, even if prior I wanted to contest and then I see a potential, I'll say lead or I will support you.
Yeah.
So if I saw that, okay, Jesu was the person who was going to bring the campus back for us, I definitely supported him. I'm the one who went to social media and proclaimed him as the presidential candidate of SASCO. I never sabotaged him. Even in elections, I was in the forefront. If you can check most of the pictures of the videos, I was always there, on his side, making sure that, SASCO reclaims the campus. Because more than anything, it's about the student congress and not about...
Also, we talk a lot, ne?
Hmm?
Like the
No,
students.
it's a
Like
good
we
thing that
love
we
saying
talk a
things that
lot.
we don't know sometimes.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
jump
I
to
feel like
conclusions.
it's a great thing that we talk a lot because these people at the end of the day, they're going to lead us. And if we don't talk about those things, then we might not as well be. They're not really transparent, these
Yeah.
people. They do their things in hidden corners of some sort. That's why we need people in order for clarity or some sort, you get. And still on the deployment issue, I feel like they did us bad because currently I don't see any of the people that they deployed being active. They just come and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
whatever just for a little bit of fame or for the organization, but they don't do it for students.
Speaking
'Cause-
about that, ne? We're putting the question straight and I'm gonna read it. And I need you to answer. Because we all wanna know, even the
Yeah.
students wanna know, ne?
Okay.
I'm reading it.
Okay.
So you were deployed as the Secretary General, right? And many of your close friends also said you had a
Exactly.
leadership
Exactly.
position. And some students believe this is a case of political favoritism rather than a merit-based deployment.
Exactly.
So just tell us. We want to hear your
Which is
response
crazy. We
here.
don't know those people. Most of them, I don't know them. I'm very active
I
on
only
social
know
media.
Jesu, Asekho, and
I don't know anybody.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
you know,
maybe
okay, you know
but
what I'm
I don't
against,
know
ne?
anybody.
I'm against, people seeing those people as my friends more than them being student activists or the contribution they've done for students or for the movement.
Yeah.
You see, I have two friends in the cabinet, which is Ndingo and Karen. When their deployment came and they said I had something to do with it, of which it wasn't true. However, both of these people led. Karen led as the project office of the Faculty of Health Sciences. Ndingo led 2 times as the block rep.
But
No, she led 2 times as a block rep and also as the project officer of postgraduates last year. So that person is equipped or experienced, and also the other one is experienced. So these people were there from their first year. They've contributed in the movement. They've done this and this and that. So if they have to be deployed because of the potential that they have or the contribution that they've brought so far, why not?
But I won't lie. Students don't know those people, for the fact that you're saying that they did blog rap and whatever, it doesn't mean that they're good for the students as a whole. Maybe they were good for the minority of the people that they were leading at that particular point.
Yeah.
And you guys place them in positions where now they're quiet, not doing anything.
Okay, what is it that they failed to achieve?
Everything
What
that
do you
needs
mean?
to be
What do you
achieved.
mean everything? Because the other one is the Minister of Facility and Maintenance. The other one is the Minister of Information. So we must check also the portfolio that they are under. You cannot expect someone who's under maintenance to go and speak about financial issues. It doesn't make sense. So if now we can say there isn't any generator working, she's the first one to go there. There was an electricity, I think, some day ago. She was going back and forth. The issue of stoves, we did an inspection, the whole of campus. We are the ones, we even proved on the social media, we shared the memorandum. She wrote the memorandum. We said we don't want the stoves to be fixed, we want the new stoves. That's her portfolio. Stoves are
But
being removed and
that is
replaced.
not the achievement. I think this was mentioned last
No,
year when
no,
EFF was still in.
that's untrue. We are the first ones
I
to
think
mention.
Mabena mentioned this last year.
Mabena mentioned that if you can check around November, we went to Hartfield in October 27th, and one thing that we had, it was me, the Minister of Education, and the President went to the Hartfield to prepare for the 2025 registration. And then the director of maintenance was there. If there's one thing that we said was that we are tired of the stoves, these stoves that we currently have, because they get fixed today, after 2 hours they're damaged. We want new stoves. Actually, what we wanted was a 4 plate, not the 4 plate with an oven. It's what we wanted, and it's a proposal that we've put in, and then it was approved. And you must know that as the SRC, in as much as we're in different political parties, we come and brief every SRC member. So obviously one will come and say this and this and that. And sometimes if you're leading in an executive position, you don't see the need of posting or proving yourself all time. So I've taken note of that. Yes, Mapena did post about that, but it was not an initiative. Even if it was an idea, let us rather say it was his idea. But you must know that he doesn't sit in meetings that we sit in. He just sit in student parliament. But he doesn't go anywhere. Just like now, there's an issue of UHC. He wrote to me. If he had that power to convince, he would have gone to those people, you see. So going back, the issue of stoves, it was our victory. And even on the 15th of January, we met these people in student parliament. It was only the cabinet. Mama Pena were not there. We said, at Hartfield, we said 1, 2, 3, what is going on? We don't see stoves being delivered. And they told us that no, they made an order, just that it hasn't arrived. And then again I think on the 5th or 4th, we wrote a memorandum of demand that stoves are not here, are not fixed. And then we are complaining that students are unable to cook. And then a day after, we went to do an inspection. Unfortunately, I was not there. The only people who went to do an inspection with the maintenance HOT was the Minister of Information and the Minister of Maintenance, the one that people say are not working. Shout out to them. They were the two ones to to inspect, right? And then they wrote a report that, okay, in DBSA we found this and this and this and that. And then a day after, we saw stuff's being delivered and being changed. In as much as people can say it's not an achievement, to us it is an achievement, because there's someone out there who do not afford to buy takeaway that needs to cook, you see, and they don't allow stoves inside the room, you see. So to us, every little thing, as long as it speaks to students, it is an achievement.
You speak like a politician. You have sweet lies.
Yeah. Yeah. Manje, we're
No, I'm
getting
kidding, I'm
serious
kidding.
now.
I'm kidding.
We're
You speak
getting
like a
serious.
politician. But
So we want to know, ne? Sasko campaigned for a change. Like when you guys were campaigning in a platform, you were like, you're going to bring a change. But a lot of students are complaining that nothing has changed. You guys are not doing your jobs. Like there's a lot going on in the organization. You guys are not looking at the issues that are affecting students, like NSFAS, auto application, and unregistered students.
And I remember, like, before you say anything, right? I have proof of this. Maybe it can be played on the podcast. Last year, Jesu said that what he's fighting for is inequality, which I believe that it was something that you guys discussed within yourselves. But currently, with all the things that are happening, we can't say there's equality rather. I mean, equality, guys, is so, but there's equality rather. We don't see the equality because the very same students you said you're going to advocate for as an organization in the radio interviews and other stuff, you say that you're going to make sure that even the students that are from disadvantaged family, they're going to get something, they're going to be treated well. But if we see or how it is right now, people are suffering, the AOD, a lot of things are just
and
wrong.
Students don't have money
they're
to
paying
pay for those
1.5. How do you
AODs.
expect somebody from
A poor background.
but yeah, from a poor background to do such things? You guys promised the students that, but you're not delivering exactly that.
Exactly what they promised.
Okay. Where I am sitting, I feel like in a space of 4 months, we've achieved a lot of things. And this is not a joke. Speaking from, I always say, when you are many, you will say a lot of things influenced by what the other party is saying. But if you're a student and was once affected by something, you will not speak from your directive. There's a lot of things that we're able to achieve in our space, such as the N plus affected students. In previous years, those students, they didn't receive, they would rent. But we made it an initiative, right? We wrote to the dean that in Univen, each and every year, we always have the students who are wrongfully affected by N plus. So wrongfully affected by N plus, just to give a brief, it's when you're doing a 4-year qualification, but it is registered as a 3-year qualification in NSFAS. So when you are on your N plus 1 rightfully, it says you're on your N plus 2, then the funding drops you, right? So we had such challenges. And then we said, we are sure that these are the issues that are going to be fixed. Give the students accommodation. They gave 500 plus students accommodation on campus. And that was a big achievement for us because in most years, we've seen students renting, some being unable to attend because they will stay at home, they don't have the money to rent. Secondly, we made sure that it is one of our responsibilities. Most of them currently their status changed. For the first time in history, if you can check the issue of N plus, they are always, because last year I dealt with the issue. When we got elected in October, I fixed the issue in November, and it was an ongoing issue. And then if I can check previous years, the issue was always fixed around November. But till now, we are the first ones to challenge and fix the issue as early as February. And as we speak, those students are going to receive their allowances month end. And then another thing, we had an issue of change of degree. We fixed it today or last night, rather. Those are students who are affected by mismatch, and then they were defunded. We said to NSFAS, no, but you never told us that if someone does a change of degree, like you were not direct. But now, at least we know that if you do a change of degree, NSFAS drops you. But this is not a student fault. And then they got funded last night. It was an ongoing issue. Another issue, the issue of, there's just a lot of issues that we fixed. You will have to remind me of some of the issues, and then I'll just respond on how we tackled those issues.
AOD.
Oh, the issue of AOD. The issue of AOD, it was even hard to tackle because what was brought to us was that if you are owing this much, for an example, 1 rand to 20,000, you're going to pay 2,000 upfront, monthly 3,000. 21,000 to 40,000, 2.5 upfront, monthly 3.5. 41,000 to 80,000 upfront, 3,000, monthly 3.5. From 81,000 going up, upfront 4,000, monthly 5,000. It's what was brought to us. We had to negotiate. And then they said to us, the reason why we are here today, it is because of students who do not acknowledge that debt. Because in as much as let's say the previous year they registered with the 500 upfront, and monthly maybe they had to pay 200 rands or 500 rands, a lot of students did not honor that. We were sitting at plus minus, including the postgraduates, plus minus 10,000 plus students who are doing AOD, and then that 10,000 only had 300 who were paying monthly, and then the rest they were not paying. They cancelled. So we said to them, this is something that it gives a narrative that why the students are poor, they can't afford, this is what we said. And then they said, but you know that a university, in as much as it is a university, it is also a business that must generate money, because they made us also understand some of the things that we didn't know, that the money to pay the staff, somehow it comes from the paying lecturers, paying 1, 2, 3, and whatsoever. Then we said, we do hear that, but how best do we tackle this issue? We said it's fine, because they were not willing to go to 500 and they were not willing to change their price. We said it's fine. Let us check the categories which students are owing much, because we had like 6,000 something students who were owing between 20,000 to 40,000 and between 40,000 to 80,000. And then we had to take the range. And even the range that we took, remember that it was saying that a student must pay 3.5, the other one 4,000. Said no, we can go to 1,000 and 2,000. The other range will pay 1,500 per month, the other one 2,000, 1,000 per month. And they were not willing to go to back down. We're also not willing to back down. In as much as people would say, but last year people paid 500 rand, why this year paying 1,000 rand? It's something that we must know that what we do today it affects the future generation. So had we sold out students, we're going to say, go and pay that 5,000. Monthly you'd pay that 4,000. We did even share the first document that financial aid gave to us. And then when you go there, before, it was even hard to meet with them because they didn't want, we had to write emails after emails after emails after emails. Then we went to our HOD of student governance, said, you have this issue, let us go. And you must remember that in the meeting from the SRC, because it depends on the position. It's only the Minister of Finance, the President, and I. You don't go as the whole cabinet. And they are many there. Your director, the manager, every staff of finance. They're supporting each other there. You state your word. But to us, we felt like, in as much as we are not, I won't lie, we are not happy with the range or the money that students are paying, but at least we feel like we've tried our best. That is why for the first time in Univen, if you can check, people always donated 1.3 million. We said, no, we want to donate 2 million. And then we donated 1.9 million for the first time. We donated, and in that 1 million, majority of those students were students who are using AODs, which they didn't pay the upfront payment. They had to do the stop order. Then we paid the upfront. We paid, in fact, 5,000 for them, all of them 5,000. Then we had students who were previously unfunded, but you find that student didn't acquire 50% or the criteria of academic eligibility as to NSFAS, then the student couldn't pay the registration fee. And if you're not owing the university, we know that you cannot do an AOD because you have nothing to acknowledge, you see. We paid also, we donated the money, and then most of our students registered for free. And if something that people do not know, somehow we did try to accomplish the free registration. This year, for the first time, every student, number one, if before we even had the funding list, if you're previously funded by NSFAS and acquired 50%, you registered for free. We didn't have to wait for the funding list as compared to previous years where they'd say, okay, this year you're unfunded, you have to pay. This year, as long as you were funded last year, you registered for free. Going to private sponsors, we check what your bursary wants. And then with the private sponsor, if you paid, because a private sponsor funds if you paid, if you passed 100% of your modules, everyone who passed 100% of their modules, they registered for free. Regardless if your sponsor will fund you for 2025, they registered for free. Something that we're able to champion that, okay, we are certain, obviously, if you meet a criteria of your bursary, you are certain that you're going to be funded. But some, in NSFAS, especially with NSFAS students, it changed. There are students who registered for free, but right now they don't have the automated status. So some of them, they are defunded because of the range of the money, the parent earns per annum and whatnot and whatnot. And some of them, they are not funded for 2025, but they registered for free.
I'm busy looking at her while she's speaking. Oh, this girl is beautiful. But yeah, let's continue with the conversation. Let's continue with the conversation. I hear that. I really understand that. And some of the I won't lie, I'm not defending her, guys. Please, I'm not defending her. I feel like some of the issues that are brought to you on social media are not necessarily for you. Some of them must be tackled by chairpersons and people that are in different structures, which unfortunately some of them are not available. And because there are a lot of things that doesn't really concern you. But personally, I do want to know, what do you do as a secretary general? What really happens in your space? Because we do bring issues. I won't lie, we bring a lot of issues, and then some of them are not necessarily for your office.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what do you do?
So my office is the highest signature of students. It's the office of administration. I administrate everything that happens with the SRC and with students. So nothing happens without my knowledge. Same applies with the president, you see. So when it comes to the SRC, there are issues such as also in the cabinet, there's what we call hierarchy, substructure.
Yeah.
I will take, especially in issues of substructure, I will involve myself if they failed to tackle such issues, because there are offices that they cannot go to. There are offices whereby they will say they want the minister or the president and the SG on. So if they feel like they've reached the ceiling, that's when I take part that, okay. However, what I play or my role, it's more like, it doesn't differ from the president's. I get in any office, I can speak to whoever and fix anything,
So do you think if we were to vote again, you'll vote for Jesu?
Why not?
Fair.
Speaking of that, speaking of your position being not different from the president one, I want to know something. So during room allocation here off campus, the returning students were struggling to get accommodation, and you guys didn't know when to release the link. Like it was
Exactly.
a mess. Like students were struggling to get accommodation off campus, no link. No one is told anything. Students are still at home.
At that time, the president is busy taking adverts for a driving school,
Ex-
and then we're crying, and he's busy
Exactly.
taking adverts.
So this other time when Jesu said there's a manual allocation, students can go to whatever rest that they want to stay at, and then they will get accommodated there. You stated something on your statuses and said, "When you know nothing."
Who said I was talking about the room allocation?
But it was
was
the
about-
same time, Pay. Like
No.
Rona, we thought
So,
maybe
so
you
I'm not allowed to vote. So with regards to the room allocation, our frustration was that the university issued a letter of 3 residences, right? And then we wanted to understand why 3 residences while we have like 90 plus.
They say it's you guys who permitted,
No.
and apparently there's bribe inside it.
No,
there's
no.
bribe. You guys are the ones who
That's-
took the
that's-
residences.
Jesu, tell us.
That's not what happened.
We're
I wanna
exposing
know.
them.
I wanna know.
That's
I
not what
wanna
happened.
know.
It also came as a surprise when we saw a letter, right? And then when we saw a letter, please, Mina was idle on my phone. Then they come. Asekho, there's 1, 2, 3. Are you aware? I checked the letter. And then we scheduled a meeting with housing and student governance. And then we asked, what is happening? Why these 3 residences? And when the president issued that thing, it was because a lot of students were back on campus and they were frustrated and they couldn't access the fundi or they couldn't claim their room using
Yeah,
fundi,
that was
right?
the problem because students
So-
couldn't get the OTP
Yeah,
thing.
so that is why they said they must go to those residences as long as they know that they are funded or whatsoever, or they can pay. Yeah, so that's what happened. And then we went to ask, and then we were informed, or we realized that okay, the university has like a lease agreement with those 3 residences.
Yeah.
The university is the one who asked these 3, because once upon a time, Univen, if you can check, before 2021, we had like the rooms were scarce. They were very scarce. Like we didn't have rooms. But in 2021, we had a lot of if you can check, your Seemela came in 2021, but Grand Royal, all these residences, they came in 2021, others in 2022. So the university was the one to go to these 3 landlords saying that, can you please build an accommodation and assist the university with accommodation, you see? And then these 3 landlords, they built. And then now, obviously, in previous year, if you can check, there wasn't much competition because there wasn't much accommodation. But last 2023, 2024, 2025. In 2023, I think we had 120 plus of campus accommodation. And then in 2024, they're like 90 plus. Because remember that each time they do a barracking introspection, some of the residences do not qualify. So they decrease. And then
And
they
at this
said they're
point, I
90
feel like
plus.
you guys didn't even do introspection. I went to this other residence. I won't mention the name, but I don't think it's proper for a student to stay there, especially considering the amount that they're paying. And I feel like I can't say you messed up the situation. I feel like it was best when we're doing links and stuff, because even other students, imagine I'm from Umtata, KZN or some sort, and then I have to get here. Everybody that is around here have already claimed the room. It's not really fair. Because I've seen, especially students that are coming from far, they're staying in places where
Yeah.
it's not suitable. I won't lie.
resident is not making
I think you
sure.
should reconsider.
No,
checking
let's
those
talk
residences.
about how they started by saying that returning students are going to be made a priority, but their priority was first
Yeah.
years, because first years got the most accommodated here on campus. There are not a lot of students here, but
Yeah.
returning. There are a lot of first years, bruh.
But-
like all of us, we there, even if we are here, returning students, but their priority was mostly focused on the first years, and the returning students were literally like left not knowing.
That is untrue. You know what happens, ne?
Yeah.
That they are
Politicians.
They are percentages.
You know what happened? Once you say you know what
No,
happened, I
they
know
are-
something.
they are-
something's
you
gonna-
know.
There are percentages, right? They will
Yeah.
tell you that, for an example, okay, returning students on campus, they should be this percent. First entering this percent. Postgraduate this percent. International students this percent. So what we are battling with when it comes to returning students, we have a lot of departments that want their students on campus. That is why you find other students being affected. You'll find your nursing students saying that their HOD will say, and I want my students on campus because they use the bus. We give them new meal res. Funza Rushak. They must be accommodated on campus because of the cap that they have. Your nutrition students, they will tell you that I want my students on campus, your psychology students, your DRR students. So with the returning students, we have that challenge because we have departments that want their students on campus. And another thing, we know that with health sciences, they open earlier than everyone else, you see. Also, the sports, you will see sports going there saying, now I want all sporting code. As long as you are playing soccer, netball, I want them accommodated on campus, you see. So when now you are not in any of this department, you are not in any sporting code, and then you feel like they're only first years because you'll ask, where's your room? And these people are allocated via the list that the HODs would send, you see. So these are the challenges that we are battling. Because with first years, obviously, on their first years, they're not in anything, so their space is not affected. And you must also remember that also the percentage of postgraduate is included on the returning students.
Yeah.
Your nursing, the percentage is included on the returning students. Your this and that. So we have these challenges whereby we have certain departments
So,
that want
so
their
you're
people
trying
on
to tell me
campus.
where the returning students were affected to a point whereby they were given doubles and singles were given to first years?
No, with the issue of double rooms, or the challenge that we had this year, ne, remember that in as much as we are at the university, also the university accounts somewhere. So it's not only Univen. D had once issued a communication that they want majority of students on campus. And when it was presented to us, they said 70 first years, 30 returnings. We were against it.
I won't
Said
lie.
no. And when we asked, because there was a time when we met with those people, we asked why. Then they said first years are vulnerable because they don't know.
That was understand. Honestly, that is understanding. It's just that you can't go out on Facebook
Yeah.
and whatever because
They
first years
say-
they don't know the place
Yeah,
and
they
all
don't know
that.
the place,
Oma
they are
banana,
vulnerable.
oma banana, they know the place at least.
So they need to be accommodated in a space where they will be safe. They would be safe.
Yeah.
But we said, in as much as we are saying this, we have returning students, especially final year students. They need to be accommodated on campus, especially in single rooms.
Yeah.
So what had happened this year is that we argued from the 70 up until the 52%, 52, 40. So now we got, the returning got 40, is it 46? Okay, I'm bad with maths, ne? But the 52% went to first years, the 40-something percent went to returning, 6% postgraduate, 1% to the international students.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's what happened. And then with regards to the allocation of rooms, you must understand that on campus we have F1, which is your Mango, Carousel, Bernard. They have also double rooms. Your F2, your F3, F4, F5, they have double rooms. Those are the rooms that we know, and they are always said to be, they always put aside for first years. First years are always allocated in those rooms. But also, we had a challenge whereby when they were dividing that percentage, they were like, okay, they're going to give them 2 blocks in DBSA, both male and female, then the rest of the residences. And then most of the students were unable to claim rooms. And then most of them who were given the double rooms on campus, most of them cancelled. You know that comrades always, go for first years. They know you don't know the place. They will get out. There's a rest there.
How you said it
I
is
see
like
it
it's
now.
like
I see it
like,
now.
wow.
I'm here. I'm seeing the vision.
Univen FC must sign me so that I get a room on campus.
Yeah,
Big player.
So yeah, that's what happened, you see. And then with regards to the returning getting double rooms, those are people who went to housing and begged. Those are people who went and said, hey, now I want to stay on campus because the rooms were finished. We're only left with double rooms, of which even the registration of first years was not completed at that particular time. They said, hey, nah, it doesn't matter. Some came to us crying that, hey, even if I stay in a double room, it's okay as long as I'm on campus. But we don't have majority of students staying in double rooms, you see. So we can clear that contradiction.
It's like, okay, let's talk about why okay. At firstly, I heard that the Riverside res it's for postgraduate students, but
Yeah.
why are they mixed with first years there?
Which first year is there?
There are a lot of people complaining in the in the Univen
Those people are lying.
updates. They're saying that they're mixed with first years.
Those people are like, we started allocating in Riverside last week. We start allocating at the Riverside when the registration of postgraduate
postgrad is
commences.
complete.
No, last week when the commences. But what happens is that we first prioritize postgraduate, and when there's space, that is when they take people who are doing their fourth year. If you are doing an honors degree, that's when they will take you. But as we're speaking right now, Riverside is being filled by postgraduate and also PGCE students. So if there's a first year there,
Why PGCE? Fela ke ma
Chase
first
them
year
out.
ba-
If there's a first year, they chase them out.
Why PGCE?
but where will they go? Let's start
Find
there.
them a rest. I
You can
can
get a
you guys
rest.
are saying that's for postgraduates.
Exactly.
No, you must. The other thing, ne, you must understand that in as much as it is for postgraduate, even PGCE, ne, it gets treated as a postgraduate because also their registration
What
starts
bridge
late.
education? What? They must find their own rest.
Exactly.
But there you are right. Our priority when it comes to Riverside, it is postgraduate. When I'm speaking about postgraduate, your honors, masters, and PhD candidates, those are our priority. And we've realized that in Univen, in previous years they were unable to fill Riverside. But as we speak right now, the rooms for girls are full because we're in a space where everyone wants to pursue their education. So we don't have the scarcity of people anymore as we speak now. Like the rest is getting full each every day. But I've never seen a first year. Let me not say an undergrad. Let me say first year student. I've never. If there's a first year there, take me there. I will sort
You
it
chase
out.
them out, yeah.
Not chase them out, but make a plan for them.
And also the problem of quota full. Why did the problem of quota full get to a point whereby a lot of matriculants were not getting admission? Like even if it will say admitted,
And
but
then
they
it
will
will say
fail to
quota full.
register and all.
Okay. Let us define what is quota full. Ne? Quota full is whereby you are admitted in a degree or qualification that is full already. That is the definition of quota full. So, but then under management, we had old qualification codes that the Department of Education, just like the one under the biokinetics, the one under health sciences, the Department of Health Sciences wrote to the university that as you know, that under health sciences, most of the courses are regulated by their, what is their organization or their council rather, ne? So they informed the university that, okay, we want how many students, and then they wrote to the university that this year you must not offer this qualification, and then it was inactivated. Same applies to management. There are courses which were or had old qualification. I don't know what happened, but they didn't remove them from the system of which students were admitted. And however, a plan was made for such students because especially those of management, most of them are migrated to new qualification codes. And then those ones, the other ones, the whole of, if you can check, there was a point in time where registration was closed. We were migrating and registering all those students. And yeah, those ones would call and say, oh, we're posting that, hey, I paid the registration fee. They expunged my status. I'm no longer admitted. Those people were assisting them the whole of last week up until this week, Tuesday. Called them. They were calling them to check all of them who were once admitted and got whatever. And then they were calling them if are they still interested in that space. And then they will tell them that we have this and this and this and this. What are you interested in? Then they will say, and they will register for them automatically. Like the university was registering for them. So that is the issue of quota full. Then those ones who are not just like education, we had such issues of quota full. There was a point in time when we had a meeting with those people and like, okay, we don't know if the system was unable to check or to see that a certain qualification is filled or is full with registration. And then there was a point in time I released the communique that the system will only open for those who are admitted, but when they try to register, it's a quota full to check for other qualifications. And the first qualification to get full, a lot of students were registered under, it was social work, I remember. It was social work and the others, but everyone was assisted unless otherwise.
So how did it end up affecting returning students as well?
Okay, returning students, ne? when you fail, you're in your first year.
Oh,
Yeah. So
just a quick question, right? If philosopher was to ask you out, what would be your response? I just want to know. It's in my mind, so I can't keep it in my mind.
Hey, but where's this question coming from?
Nah, it's just in my
That's all.
mind.
I would say no. Wow,
Why?
one. He's a kid. He's younger than me, I think.
Ish.
He's
Oh,
a
no,
kid.
You see why guys have guava man? It comes from this.
Hey, I'm sorry,
I'm just
philosopher, if we're
assuming.
putting up
But I'm
with
assuming. I'm not saying he's indeed younger. I don't know his age. I'm just assuming.
me.
He looks younger though.
I want us to play a
looks
game,
younger with
guys.
those
I want us to play a game.
This is painful.
I won't lie. This episode was so much educational because you managed to clear some of the issues. But I feel like,
Yeah, even if it's not all.
yeah,
We wanted to
but
hear more.
I feel like you guys have sweet lies. I don't necessarily believe much in politics and all the other stuff, but you guys have sweet
Yeah, they
lies.
lie. It's
And
more like
sometimes you claim easy victory. You find that something is done by the upper structure, and then you come and tell us you did it because you're the first one to
do you
get
know what
updates.
even confuses us the most is when they say something and then Mabena comes and tells us something different from what it's like the opposite, vice versa.
I believe that's politics because they're different parties, but overall, you guys sometimes lie to us, and I feel like this year, please be transparent with us. When you mess up, admit you're messing up, and then come and tell us this. What's
Quick
up?
question. And don't make it long. I
Yeah,
want to
but
know
quick question.
something. I want to know something. Ne?
Yeah,
Do you think Sasko this year is going to win the elections?
Yeah, why not? Without any doubt.
that's too much confidence. But yeah,
Too much confidence for the problem for what the students from what the students are saying. Hey.
too much confidence. And to clarify something, right, guys, this is not necessarily a politics podcast. It's just that most of the things that have been happening in the campus have been too much of politics. We do want talents out there, people that have talents, profiles and whatever. Send it to
Entrepreneurs.
send it to
brands.
the producer, and then we see what we can do in order for you guys to get a space and then come say your thing. But
Something.
yeah, it's not a politics podcast, honestly. Because we've brought politicians just because it was urgent. Even today, this episode was very urgent because we wanted clarification on some of the issues that are happening here. But overall, it's a university podcast. Talent, students that have something that is interesting that they're doing, we want to share the platform with them. But we're about to play a game, and I want Asekho to be honest. I feel like there was so much lies in whatever that she was saying currently.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be honest at this point. It's just a fun game. So don't catch any feelings. And everybody that will be mentioned, please do not catch any feelings.
Don't catch.
It's a
Don't
fun
catch.
game.
Okay.
So the first question is one must go, right? You have to choose one. So it's Abigail or Karen.
And you have to say and you have to say why. You have to say why.
What do you mean?
No, it's not personal. Don't go for her.
Nah, one
Don't
must
go for
go.
her.
Oh, guys.
If they come for you, come here. We'll address it.
Where do I start? But guys, you are just unfair.
This is simple. You just choose the name and you give us a reason. It's not a big deal.
It's just the name.
Couldn't you think of other people?
We want this word.
Okay, no, I'm trying harder actually to think, because those are my closest friends. Both of them also.
Yeah, we knew. We know.
We did our homework here.
We did our homework. We know.
Yo, guys, I love them so much. Okay, one must go.
You can cry if you want.
I'm trying to think so hard who would go, because these people will shame.
Just pick. It's not a big deal. They must not.
No,
catch.
it is a big deal. What do you mean one must go? Go where? Okay.
One must go. We don't know, but one must go.
Yo, okay, I will explain. Fine, briefly, and yeah, okay, I would choose Karen over Abigail, and however, I don't take anything against what Abigail has done for me. Actually, Abigail is one of the people that delivered me as the SG and made sure that I become the SG, because she's the current chairperson of SASCO. We fought most of the battles together. We cried together. You know, those are the people that
Yes,
I.
they know you love them.
And then,
just tell us where
I love her so much because I've learned a lot from her. She did as well with me. Then the reason why I'm choosing Karen Reid is because I feel like I'm these days I'm spending most of time with her simply because obviously of the position that we're acquiring and this and that. However,
I was in a position useless. I was in a position.
no, but besides that, Abigail is also in the SRC. You know, she's also the. They know I love them so much, and I would die for them. All of them, all of my
So-
friends.
you won't die for both of
Karen.
them. You chose Karen.
No, I would die for them. They know. They know that was a hard one.
Take the
Shem.
other question.
You guys are evil.
Okay, so the second one, philosopher or chairman?
One
Yeah.
must go.
One must go.
They can all go.
You have to choose one, honestly, and explain
They
why.
can all go. Who will I choose? Like I don't even care. Okay.
Emotional damage. Damage
Okay, no,
control.
it's fine. Someone can go.
Why?
I feel like okay. I don't know much about him. Okay, I do, but we never led at the same time. Remember that last year I was in the SRC too, so I get to live with philosopher hand in
Philosopher.
hand. Yeah.
So you consider him
So
like...
yeah, he's part
it-
of our generation.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this is a mind question, very tricky, but we want you to be honest with this one because it's very important to the students, right? So the question says that, would you rather have a 10% increase in student funding or a 10% reduction in tuition fees?
Reduction in tuition fees.
Why reduction in tuition fees and not... We want our allowances to be...
We want our
Okay,
allowance.
We don't care
okay.
about the university.
Okay, there is more, and actually it was part of our. It's something that we are still negotiating for the decrease of tuition fees. We feel like it's something that we always present. We feel like we are in a space where the minister herself of higher education, the university, and everyone thinks that everyone who is a student is an NSFAS beneficiary. So if we're saying 10% increase, it's only benefiting those who are funded.
But are
Pardon?
we still gonna get that increase that you guys promised us?
You will, don't worry.
When?
You will.
When?
23rd.
You will get it. You will get
When?
it.
Because
Because yeah, even so funds they're decreasing, which means little and soon.
Yeah, Funza did decrease the allowance. It did, shame. Mara, ne? It is painful, but yeah, I would choose 10% decrease of the tuition fee. It's hard, man, clearing a student debt. I don't want to lie. School is
Yeah.
expensive. School is
Yeah.
really expensive, especially for unfunded or self-funded, because we must define the self-funded and unfunded students. School is hard. I'm also unfunded. I'm owing hundreds of rents. See, so
Okay, so making the last one, here's a scenario for you. So it's the 31st of March, ne? Students have not received their book and meal allowance. NSFAS funded students are protesting at the main gate, destroying everything that stands in their path. The Vice Chancellor is demanding an urgent solution. What will you do?
give students their man. That is the only solution. Because if students are protesting because they haven't received, and when we're saying 31st of March, we are talking about students who haven't received from February, whilst the academic year started in February. They have every right to protest, so we must give the student man.
So you're for the students,
Without
eh?
any, Mina, I'm not, they know. Now I always speak for the students without any fear of contradiction, fear of faith.
One last question. I'm sorry for using the podcast as my platform. But if I was to take you out on a date, where would you want to go?
Yo.
Mara, I see you, man.
Yeah. I see
SNT.
Vale. You do it behind the
I see
scene.
you, man.
yeah.
I see you, man. You guys don't want to hear me crying.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear me crying.
We am Shala.
Now, I'll text a person. I'll scout.
Exactly. Do it person. Give him numbers, ne? When we leave here, give him numbers.
I even hardly save people's numbers, but I will claim them. Don't worry. I don't.
You're not important. You're not gonna be important. You're not an issue, so you're not gonna be important.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we're coming to the end of the podcast. See you in the next podcast.
Subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. You can also follow me.
Yeah,
But
and also tell your friends to tell their friends to follow us on social media platforms.
just make sure that you
TikTok, YouTube.
subscribe. Because yeah, you
Facebook, we're
guys
there,
watch and
we're
don't
there.
subscribe. Please do subscribe and support the podcast so that we can grow with you guys, and you will get all the updates, feedback, and everything that you need from this podcast. We're just willing to work with students in order to be a deliver of news. You see, they don't have a platform for great news, so at least we're there to update you guys on some of
Shazam.
the things. But yeah, do subscribe, follow us on social media platforms. Then we out, Univen Podcast.